Hey everyone, how you doing today? Thought I'd show you an update on the Stargate ship here. So this is the old version that I showed on the last video, I believe last week Thursday. So it's been like a whole week now. Got some quality time in on it finally, and got a lot more done. So anyway, this is the old version. This version had a lot of issues. Wasn't done on the backside. Didn't really like the thruster housings. Had to do a lot more with thruster work and things like that. So anyway, that is that version. So let me move on to the next version. I got another one after this to show you, which is far more complete than this one is. So this one went through another scale up. Essentially, if you notice, it's wider than the previous one. A little bit narrower there. This one's longer as well. It's longer in the backside. It's longer in the front, and a couple blocks wider actually. Yeah, a little bit. So this one, I was able to kind of work out the block work a little bit more on the top side. I was liking it more and more. And actually, I got rid of the smaller strafing thrusters that you see in the previous version and put in a big old drive thrusters over here now because I could fit them due to the width. And that was something I was working on. So this one, I also started working on the back side of it. So started dialing in the thruster housings a little bit more, getting a little bit of a, here, let me turn on the light here, kind of like a framework around the thruster housing. The thruster housing itself is the same yet on this version, but yeah, just try to soup it up a little bit, try to work on some of the inner walls of the module bay, and I had to fit the hangar or the modules as well, and I want it to be able to deal with all three main module types out there, which is Majora, Astra, and Helios. So that's how this one ended up. Again, bigger and bigger, and I try to get more detail and things going in on this side area underneath this big landing platform on the ship. But I wasn't really on board with the bridge yet and things like that, so it needed some more work for sure. Anyway, let me move to the new current version here. So this one, I actually scaled it up a little bit more yet. So it went to this version, which was bigger than that version, and this version was quite a bit bigger than the version I started with. Actually, hold on, let me show you where I started again, in case you didn't see that originally. So this was the first version of the ship. It almost looks like a whole nother ship entirely at this point. You can see how much smaller this one is, though. It was pretty skinny, kind of repetitive on the center area. Well, anyway, let me buzz over to this version again. So this one, I started texturing it. And it looks a little scar-like with the texturing right now, but it's not really scar. It's a one-off. I'm using a new color set that's actually got a bit of a yellow-ish tint to it, real deep in there. And it's not using the rusty metal, but I am trying to make it look worn and used. So it's got a whole lot of shades of grays and some different tones in here, and I'm still kind of working out the whole color scheme on it. I don't have an accent color on this one yet, so that is, I'm not sure if it should have that or not. But you can kind of see at least how the front area is coming out so far. Now, I haven't added decals or a lot of other things to it yet, but I'm kind of liking the look of it. It's supposed to look kind of gritty. You know, not a rusty mess or anything like that, but you know, it's out there, it's been used, it's a big hulking ship, and so yeah, I found this in between metal to kind of work out pretty good. And you notice even there's some color differences around some of these areas. Again, I'm still trying to work all this out to make it look neat, but yeah, that's kind of the general look I'm gonna go for on the ship. But it'll probably have an accent color or something else going on yet that I haven't really got to yet. Anyway, let's go over all the changes on this one. Now, in the previous versions, it had its reverse thruster right in the front. All the versions had that. This one does not. I actually took that out, and instead, although I'm kind of hiding them, I have mounted 2 drive thrusters for reverse right behind these things right now. I might leave those there because I really don't want to see the drive thrusters. Be honest, right there, but I could probably deal with that, especially if it's textured all neat and stuff around that area. So no more drive thruster on the front. Added landing gear to this one. So it's got, here, let me get the light on here a little bit. It's got front landing gear that'll come down. Rear landing gear that there's actually 4 per side, or 4 sets per side. I really want it to look pretty solid when it's sitting on the ground. It's a big ship, and I definitely want it to look like the landing gear would support the weight of it. So there's 4 sets of double landing gear on this side and on the other hangar. And then, of course, it's got another like a 4 set in the front area. I also added I worked on the block work on the bottom side here. It's probably, when I start texturing it, I'll probably add in some more tweaks and details and some other changes as I go. And kind of the general thing on what I've been doing with this. So I added in a ramp area, and this will get you in. Obviously, the ship, that's kind of what the ramps sort of do. So it's a double ramp setup right now. I thought it looked kind of neat. And then I was like, well, maybe I should just have it a big solid ramp going across here. But then I realized that the size ramp I use does not have like a single strip version that fits with this. So it's got this block work there instead. Now these ramps, if they lift up, this is actually a half block here, and that's how they line up to keep them like level and everything like that. So it's a weird setup, but I think it should work on that, hopefully. So let's see. Moving on. Let's show you the back side here. Oh, also with the thrusters on here, I added in. Well, it's down thrusters here. I'm still using the smaller thrusters for that, the 2x2x4 versions, but it's got 4 of them, so it's got 2 per side in these pretty large hangar areas. Added another big strafing thruster out in this section, also kind of hiding it right now. I don't know if I'll keep it that way or not, but yeah, so we got double XL, or the drive thrusters for strafing. In the back, we've got this area got all refurbished some more, so I started adding more block work around the thrusters, tried to detail that. I added a lot more intricacy on the top part over here. I'm not sure if I did any more on the side just over here yet. Obviously, I added a lot of turret positions and some sentry gun positions to the ship too. So we do have turrets on the bottom side, top side, sentry guns on the far sides, things like that. So moving on to the back here, got another double turret position over here in the back. I was playing around quite a bit with the block work around the side of the module bays, and then try to make these look neat. Added a platform down over here on the side so you can kind of walk out and see the modules from inside the ship here, and some windows on there. And then I worked on the ceiling up here and the module wall. If you can see down over here, I've got like all 3 different module types. One's kind of flipped sideways right now. But yeah, we got some Astra module, Majora module, Helios module, and these doors on the front, I don't really like how they're off-centered like that with the door sizes I'm using currently. That could change, but it's a little intricate because the Helios door lines up at the bottom middle here. The Astra lines up 1 block above that, and the Majora modules are 2 blocks above the Astra module up over here. So those are like the 3 connection doors to make this kind of a universal platform. And I made where the landing gear a little bit broader and bigger so it could kind of handle anyone and not be too picky about it. But all the modules will dock properly right now with that. It's just the only thing I really don't like right now is the fact that these doors are like off-centered like that. And I could find different model doors for this. So I'll have to work that out a little bit, but it should be a universal module bay for any of the different types of modules. The thing is it, like, especially if you had the smallest type, which is the Majora module, which as you can tell are a lot smaller than even the Astra module, and then the Helios modules are pretty gigantic compared to the other 2. If you just have one of these parked in there, it looks a little silly because it's really dinky compared to the module bay area of the ship. So there is that. Okay, so another part here that was worked on, and that is up in the bridge section here. So yeah, I changed all the block work around here, added in glass, added in some little shapely windows, and side access doors to the bridge area too. And you also got some glass back over there that could be something else, who knows yet. And then it has from the fairly large landing deck on it now. It does have a access or a ramp staircase going down into the bridge area as well. So that's kind of how the ship is coming out. Now, I kind of made the decision not to put a control tower part over here, which the pictures that I've been basing this ship on did have that. But again, I think it would add more size class to the build, not really be in a good location to get to, and disrupt the big landing pad on here. So it just basically doesn't work out to be an Empyrion ship very well. If I did that, it would make it cost more, be a little more screwy with the layout on the interior, and screw up this big old landing pad. Which I want the big old landing pad. I'm trying to make this useful in game too. It's relatively pretty good sized ship, but I think it could work as your main base ship. You could carry everything around with you, including a combat CV or whatnot, or even a couple of them maybe. Park them on the back. I can fit a whole Macar or basically the small Helios on top of here, and it fits on this. So this is actually bigger than what the Macar has by a decent amount for its landing platform. So that is pretty much where I'm at. So basically the hull block work is sort of little tweaks here and there is pretty much complete now. And then I started obviously the texturing process, which is slow and time consuming. In fact, I probably got a good at least 2.5 hours into texturing just this little part of the ship over here. And obviously, all these white areas aren't textured yet, so that'll blend in and change. But I'm still looking at the color palette, thinking about another color to add into the mix here too. So it is a new color palette. I'm not sure if I'm going to be using these. These are custom colors too, as I was debating whether or not to have like kind of a yellowish accent color on this, but I don't think that will really fit. This over here is currently the texture light color. And right now I'm trying out this blue to see if I like it. You can see it in certain areas of the ship, like down over here. Trying to give it, again, a little bit different look, but I do realize that it does look fairly Scar-like right now. Now, I could brighten it up a little bit, too. The ship I was going from, I've seen so many different pictures and illustrations of it from different concept art and other things like that, and some of them were darker and some of them were lighter and some of them were cruder and some of them were shinier, and I'm just kind of winging it, I guess, with the whole texture scheme on it, because it could fluctuate quite a bit. So beyond that, interior layout, I gotta do some block work down over here on the floor yet, but these hangar bay doors got bigger yet, so it's actually got a lot of blocks in here. It's got a good solid 5 full blocks plus like a half block on top and bottom for getting in these hangars now. So quite a lot of room. You should be able to park most things pretty easily in there. Most SVs or HVs, that is, not CVs. So you're going to have these two pretty large hangar bays here. And then you got your module bay that's going to be coming in here. The bridge is right up here, and I kind of like the layout. And your front entry ramp is right here too. So this is a pretty good sized room area, which is probably going to contain your crafting area, production area. I don't know if on the main floor here, it might be like one deck up from here would be crafting, and then it'll have like a farming section, probably up right over there. And then your bridge is there. You got access to the flight deck and the module bay. So basically, despite being a pretty big ship, all your stuff that you're going to be doing in the game should be in this general area right here. So basically, I didn't want you to have to walk all over the place to get things done. Even though it's a big ship. A lot of the stuff going forward here will be probably a lot of fluffy things in there. Engineering, of course, too. Probably a big engineering section. There's also some more side doors over here and side ramps out over in that section. So anyway, that is kind of where I'm at with the build right now, and I'm just kind of curious what you think about it. And if you got any suggestions or anything, I am all ears. I don't know what else to do with it besides try to outfit it with like everything, placeholders for a lot of stuff. I'm sure to dial in the CPU and things like that. Now currently with its ion drive thrusters and the other smaller thrusters here, they're all ion. Plus it does have turrets. I forget how many turrets. We'll take a look at the specs here a second. Show you where that's at. Now, currently, CPU is coming out to 543,000. I think we could go up to at least 800,000 on CPU to be a Core 9 yet. So I've got some wiggle room. Obviously, it's going to need generators and shields and other parts in here yet too that are going to use CPU. But I got a decent amount of CPU left over. Trying to be efficient with the thrusters. We don't have any fuel in here, I see. Stat-wise, currently sitting already with no interior even started. It's already sitting at size class 7. So movement specs right now, 35 strafing. And that is with 2 drive thrusters per side. But keep in mind, all these are ion thrusters. So if you did want to upgrade the ship, make it fly faster, you can replace the thrusters, put in the better plasma or especially the antimatter thrusters in the ship, and that would really make it go faster. So currently even sitting at a 6-hour and 43-minute build time. Now it does have 14 turrets on here right now and 8 sentry guns. So it's actually got a decent amount of turrets. And keep in mind, all this isn't for offensive stuff. It's for drone defense and to try to cover all the area of the ship so a drone can't come up any direction and be able to like have a free pass and be able to shoot you without getting shot at back, basically. So that's how it's going. And I'm kind of, I started this project, and when I first started it way back over here, I was like, I don't know, it's all right, And then I liked this version quite a bit better, but I wasn't super motivated after I had that done. It didn't look right compared to the pictures I was showing. The scaling was way off, like the neck was too big and the back was too small, and everything was wrong. This one got a little closer. This one got closer yet, and then this one is the biggest version yet, and it's starting to feel a lot more like it should, according to what I was going on at least. So kind of just a weird ship. It's different than I normally build, but I'm liking it. I kind of really latched on to this shape formation up in the front of the ship. I thought that was kind of neat from the pictures it had. Obviously this angle here, but kind of enclosed in this angle, almost kind of like a weird roof line or something like that. But I thought that was kind of a neat shaping. So I kind of latched onto that. And then again, these hangar bays are supposed to be pretty big, and this thing's supposed to be some kind of fleet carrier or battle carrier or something like that. I'm not sure how it fits in the Stargate verse, since I don't really know it very well, except for like the movie and Stargate Universe. I did watch that one, but yeah. Anyway, I will shut up, and please let me know what you think of the ship, and if you got any other suggestions, maybe ideas, anything like that. And keep in mind, the areas that are kind of plain Jane right now, back over here, I've got a little bit of block stuff going on here, but not too much. I'll probably try to make this spiffier too when I get around to texturing it, maybe add in some thin blocks on top of it or dig into the blocks a little bit. Now, these are all half blocks up here, which is kind of weird. That's why I'm using certain shapes over here that can work with half blocks. But I'm trying to, even though this is like a CV, I'm trying to make it look like it's built of smaller blocks. So you got like a layer over here, and then it kind of goes up over there. I also optimized it a little bit with how the hangars are worked out into the module bays. This is just one last thing. It used to have like 2 walls here, and this was kind of separated, and I kind of merged it all together into one wall to reduce the block count over here. But yeah, again, you're just going to have a lot of room in this build for whatever. So space isn't even a thing. Um, I will be sure to make sure it can hold like all the latest and greatest parts, big shield parts, small shield parts, medium shield parts. Now, one thing it does not have, and that's because I wasn't really planning on this to be an offensive ship, um, is what it does not have is like big launcher positions on it. Again, that would be kind of like if you're going to make this a combat ship, you definitely want like your big launcher bays and stuff for your like heavy weapons and whatnot. And this ship does not have them. And I don't know if I should try to like incorporate something like that somewhere in the build. I don't know where I'd put it, and those guns get really big too, especially the ones you'd want to use. So yeah, that just doesn't really fit into the design. The only thing I could really think about doing with like super heavy launchers is to try to mount them like over here somewhere or something like that. But I don't know if I would like that or not. But anyway, there it is, and pretty happy with it. But I wanted to get an update, and I thought about doing a video last few days actually, but it's just all these incremental updates. Like I was here, I was going to show this version, and I was like, oh, it's not that much different. So let's just get it to where it's a lot more further along. So I do want to finish texturing this thing before Saturday, which is when the challenge is due. But I will not be able to get to doing like much or any of the interior before then. I think the remainder of time I've got with Empyrion will probably be devoted to texturing the hull, and then I'll have to work out the rest of the ship beyond that point. Now this ship will also probably be sporting a fusion reactor, but maybe not. Maybe just a location for that. Drone bays could be another thing too that it could accommodate. Again, a lot of room. There's a lot of parts to put in builds, especially in Reforged 2. So that's cool. I'm glad I got the space. I'm glad I made it bigger. Actually, it was a lot of work, constantly like cutting and pasting and chopping the ship up and stretching it out, and then putting blocks back in its place where the holes were. And that's how it went from this version all the way up to this version. Is like I think I did like 4 iterations of scaling the ship up. And it just kept like getting a little bit bigger and bigger and bigger. But finally, I was like, once I got to this version, I'm like, I don't want to make it any bigger than that. That's enough. That's enough. I thought about it though. I really did. I thought, hey, I could stretch this part out a little bit more, and this part on the actual ship and the thing is pretty big in the backside. So I could probably actually scale that up more if I really wanted to. But that's enough. That's enough. That's enough ship. Anyway, you all have yourself a wonderful day, and I will talk to you later.